All right, this is Mixland Rubber Band Compressor, a different kind of VCA style compressor that simulates pushing audio into a rubber band and then it snaps back. It's overall very easy to use. Sounds great on any source that you put it on. So let's go ahead and check it out here. So first we'll focus on just this kick to understand these controls here. All right. So I'll turn it off. Just the kick. Kind of a weak kick. I want to bring this out, polish it up, right? So we can adjust the overall tension. You can see you want more of a bouncy sound or a bit tighter. Great visual representation here of exactly what's happening. Bouncier like that. Like it tighter here, and then drive the snap. I'll turn our mix up all the way here. So in this case, something like that works. There's also a auto makeup gain right there, but I want to drive the output a bit more here. Then I'm going to bring down the mix, the overall mix. Great to have that overall mix knob right in there. Adjust your attack. I don't want to attack it right there on that transient. I want to wait just a little bit. And how fast is that release? Again, you can see with the visual representation there, really slow release as it snaps back. Want it a bit faster there. With your wait button, you can bring back any low end that might be reduced by using the compressor. So we'll turn that on. Over here, we have oversampling, which is on right now. You have crunch, so dial in some distortion, essentially. Let's make it a little bit crunchy. Then we have this tilt EQ in here. So I can essentially make this a little darker or a little brighter, whatever you prefer. This one, I want to get a bit more click out of that kick. So bypass it, sounds pretty weak. Pull it back in, sounds much better now, especially once we hear it in context. Bypass it. Again, that kick just sounds weak. And now it sounds polished just the way I want. We're also using it here on the snare. So I'll just solo that snare for now. Again, kind of a weak snare. Bring my tension up. Add a lot of snap to that. Really push it into that rubber band. Bounces right back. Kind of a slower attack, fast release. A little bit of crunch on that. A little bit of tilt towards the top end. Makes it a little bit brighter. Can bypass that. Sounds weak. Now it comes right through. There we go. So if I bypass all of our rubber band compressors. All right, again, sounds very weak. Boom. Now it sounds very polished, again, with just a few tweaks of these knobs here. So let's move on to some more samples here. So everything is bypassed right now. All right, turn everything on. Much better. So what are we doing here? Well, let's focus here on the snare first. And if we bypass this. So the snare sounds okay. But I'm going to use our rubber band compressor to push that into our theoretical rubber band and have it snap back. Now listen to this. So I'm using sort of a medium tension on this. I don't want it too tight. All right. Not a whole lot of snap. You can tell on that tail how it's snapping back up. I have a slow attack on that. Set our release. Don't want it to take too long. There we go. You hear that come back up as it snaps back. My tilt is a little towards the darker side. Too bright like that. A little bit of crunch. A little bit of crunch. Distortion just helps things to pop through a bit. So again, bypassed. Okay. Bring it back in. Much better already. We also have it on this bass track right here. Just a bit. I have it right there, the snap right there, sort of on the precipice where it's sort of bouncing back really quickly there. Just comes through a little bit better, especially with a bit of tilt on that to brighten it up, a little bit of crunch to bring everything out. It's bypassed. Have our auto makeup gain on here. Again, bypass it. And it all comes together here. Bring in the piano. Again, have a bit of compression on the piano as well here. A little bit of crunch, a little toward the darker side with the tilt, medium tension, just a tiny bit of snap. Just compressing things. Again, bypassed. Really brings everything out. All together now. Much more polished sound now. So if I bypass everything, back on, there we go. And finally, we'll check it out on acoustic guitar and some vocals.
Fall into me.
It's bypassed right now.
Fall in.
So for the guitar, I'm gonna bring out some brightness with our tilt EQ, a little bit of crunch, just to make it, again, pop through a bit. Tension, again, kind of in the medium. Not driving it in that hard. A little bouncier like that. I'm pulling down the mix knob, sort of like parallel compression, you know. The more compressed version mixed in with the raw version there. Slow attack. And there we go. It's bypassed. Brings it out a little bit more. And try it on these vocals here. Now I also have the CLA Epic Reverb on this as well.
Fall into me.
Let me bypass the delay and reverb there.
Fall into me.
It's just raw. Bring in the compressor, a little bit of tilt again, a little bit brighter, a little bit of crunch. You know, that distortion just brings out
Fall into me.
character in your audio there.
Fall into me.
You can see how it follows along, the compressor follows along
Fall into me.
with every word as it drives it into that rubber band and then snaps it back.
Fall into me.
Yep, more tension there. Attack and release. Not mixing it in fully, sort of again, more like a parallel compression here.
Fall into me.
Yep,
Fall into me.
pulls it back up there. And it sounds great combined with our delay and reverb.
Fall into me.
Great. Bypass it.
Fall into me. Fall into me.
Yeah, just brings out a little bit more of that vocal. Sounds a little bit more polished overall. Now, something else you could do, I could put my reverb and delay before the rubber band compressor, and then actually have our compressor sort of bring up those delays and that reverb after the phrase ends here, which is pretty cool.
Fall into me. Fall into me. Fall into me. Fall into me.
Hear how it brings it up? Pretty cool.
Fall into me.
Right, it doesn't come up there at the end. Turn that back on.
Fall into me.
Brings it back up. Pretty cool effect. I don't want it for this, but just some ideas for how you could use this here. So we have all of our Mixland Rubber Band compressors set up. And again, I'll bypass everything.
Fall into me. Fall into me.
All right. Doesn't have that polished professional sound. Bring them back in.
Fall into me. Fall into me.
Much better. And bypassed. Back on.
Fall into me. Fall into me.
Alright, so that is Mixland Rubber Band Compressor. If you want to check it out more, head right over here. Check out the video on their site, read more about it over here, and pick it up if you so desire. It's a good tool to have in the old plugin toolkit. Alright, so again, that is Mixland Rubber Band Compressor.